prescriptions and reduced. Speak to that within that issue.
Okay.
In terms of the Obamacare.
Oh, yes,
in a real
yes.
sense, what impact has it
yes.
had on the population?
Yes.
Period.
Well, I think the report card is still out, but this is a step in the right direction to try to help, particularly those of lower income, with Obamacare. You can see that our president was very innovative in trying to think, and not only those citizens that happen to be fortunate enough to have health care, but those millions that do not. And with the CARE Act that was implemented, it would allow everyone to then have access to just the basic needs of society, that is in health care. So we have many senior citizens prior to this that might have to make a choice between buying food or buying medication. And then if not medication, might have to take a pill and cut it in half and not get the right dosage. So I think this was a positive thing for America. It's unfortunate that many still look at it and don't think it is, but I think for those of the needy, or really those of the middle class, will still need some type of an assistance as well. Those who are fortunate to be over the site wealthy can, of course, have the buffer, have the access to funds to be able to live a certain quality of life. And it's good that this administration at this point in time in the 21st century has noticed that there was this need out there. When does an issue, a concern, become a problem? And so it was looked at by President Obama and the healthcare administration to try to do something about it. And I think that's a positive thing, because there are many elderly today who are in need of health care plans that weren't getting it, to be able to get just basic health care needs. So I think that's a positive sign in the right direction.
And so in a real sense, there are some good things that are going on in America dealing with the elderly population and with the population period, but nevertheless there are so many that are left out in a real sense. And I think that what you're talking about here is that while some are being assisted by some of the activities that are going on, some people are still being left behind.
Absolutely, and that's just always been the case, unfortunately, within a capitalistic society. But I think this Obamacare, you know, the Affordable Care Act, which it was called, and they were trying to throw a negative spin on by calling it Obamacare, but it turned out to be positive. So I'm hoping that the rest of America, particularly if you just think here in terms of the state of Tennessee, well, our governor Haslam wanted to do something positive to try to help even European Americans here that are poor and in need of care, and how others of the middle class that have health care wouldn't vote for it.
And some of those that have health care that won't vote for it also are in a real sense receiving Obamacare.
Absolutely.
Without, perhaps without understanding
That's
it,
right.
but they are receiving it without being willing to help those 280,000 folks who are left out.
And that's so true.
Been difficult for me to understand.
Yes.
You know, how in a one way you can vote against something that you're receiving, and to exclude all of the other folks, and then declare that you are legislating for the people of the state of Tennessee.
Absolutely, and I think that's a sad commentary when you really think about it. And unfortunately, many of those 280,000 would have voted for those people that don't even support them. So I hope this program will reach out to a lot to let them see how they really need to think critically, and see that some people that are just not supporting them because of a thought of an idea about a better health care system for them, that they may attach it to being a part of the American Care Act or the Health Care Act, or of course they call Obamacare. Therefore they didn't want to try to support it. But it would have been in favor for thousands of people that are in need in this particular state.
And especially in this state, because I think that in a real sense, we don't rank too high among southern states in terms of the need that we have in this particular state.
You're certainly right. Yes, right. So it's a sad commentary they didn't, because health care is just a vital part of just living. You just need it. And it's unfortunate that we have so many who are in need, that belong to the lower class, that don't have that type of an opportunity. I think that would have been a good policy. But it just shows you how people just don't have a need or care
or
about
understanding of what is going on in reference to their own lives, and et cetera. And so I think that, but some of the things that we're talking about over this last half minute that we have here during this segment, we'll start dealing with education next.
Okay.
But some of the things that I think that you're saying in reference to the elderly and health care and et cetera, I think that these things should resonate with some of the individuals that are listening this morning. They can understand that the only way that they can really deal with it is to be proactive. And one of the best ways is to become involved politically.
Yeah,
and of course, we're going to take this second commercial break, and we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break.